Hi everyone, this is Jamie Broderick from Network Now. If you could type in the chat box, if you can hear me and see my screen, that would be great. I know that Bonnie is online. Who else? Amy, Barbara, Beth, Bridget, Carol, Darlene. There we go. Awesome. Okay, everyone. Thanks, Bonnie. Hi, this is Jamie Broderick from Network Now, and we are doing our monthly webinar for May, Top 5 Administrative Mistakes that Business Owners Make. I know you're dying to find out what those are. Very compelling title, I have to say. We do these webinars every month on the first Wednesday of the month at noon, and then we hold a corresponding monthly workshop later in the month. And this month it will be on May 21st in Warrenton. If you have questions, just type them in the chat box, and I'll do my best to monitor it. But I am on my own here, teaching, switching slides, recording, and watching the chat box all at once. So at a minimum, I will email the answers out after the webinar. So today we'll review the top 5 mistakes business owners make when running the administrative side of their business and discuss the consequences of not having systems in place to manage your business. So we're scheduled for about 30 minutes, but I expect we should finish in about 20. You have extra 10 minutes for lunch. The first mistake is not keeping track of the work being done by your employees. It is good practice to review their work and even go behind the scenes periodically, perhaps when they're on vacation, because especially with financial matters, there should be a review and approval process in place. If they are cutting checks, you should be reviewing the supporting documentation before signing them. You should also be reviewing the bank reconciliations and balance sheet account analyses. Hopefully you're doing some account analyses of your balance sheet account. You know, a lot of business owners look at the profit and loss statement to review the source of income and expenses, which of course is important so you know how your business is performing, but reviewing your balance sheet, your cash flow statement, and your accounts receivable aging report is actually a better strategy for finding problems. So the basic equation of a balance sheet for those beginners out there is assets equal liabilities plus equity. So the assets add to the worth of your business, and they include cash, accounts receivable, inventory, and fixed assets. The liabilities are all the outstanding obligations, such as accounts payable. A high level of liability might be a sign of trouble. Equity is the capital of a business and is the major source of money to support and sustain an operation. So a high equity balance is a good indicator that your business is able to sustain itself and grow. The opposite might mean that you're in trouble with closing down. A cash flow statement helps you understand the movement of cash. Accounts receivable aging is a detailed report of your accounts receivable balance, and it tells you the age of your outstanding invoices. Yeah, I hear that echo too, Shannon. Not sure what's going on. Sorry about that, guys. The accounts receivable aging is a detailed report of your accounts receivable balance, and it tells you the age of your outstanding invoices. I'll lower my sound a little. Maybe that'll help. The longer an invoice remains unpaid, the less likely it will get paid. So we're going to get into more about how to read and understand these reports in the workshop on May 21st. Sound a little better now that I've lowered my volume? Yes, good. All right. And we'll go a little lower even. The second mistake is not having organized filing systems. I'm talking about paper desk files as well as computerized files. And the more organized your files, the easier it will be to retrieve your needed information. Everyone, I think, probably knows this. Well, probably a lot of people don't invest the time to get this organized. But if you think about the amount of time wasted hunting for missing files, it's just really unnecessary. It really does pay to invest the money and time to put things in order up front. I'm sure all my professional organizer members are cheering right now. You'll avoid the stress and the waste of lost items, and you'll probably avoid penalties for late payments and missed filing deadlines. Not good. On to the third mistake. Third mistake is a lack of structured office procedures. The best scenario is a specific workflow that everyone on your team could follow. Having this in place not only gives your staff guidelines to follow, but it also makes your office more productive. So by looking at the steps you take for each process, typically you can actually find some that aren't really adding value and you can just get rid of them. The easiest way to set up procedures, we find, is to create checklists. For instance, you could have a checklist for a new client intake. Think about all the things that need to happen when you bring on a new client. All those tasks go on the checklist. So in the Network Now office, for example, when a new member joins, our checklist includes tasks such as adding them to our private Facebook group and making a welcome call. We have checklists for all our systems, like when a member renews their membership, when we're planning an event, after an event. The things on that checklist might be to send a thank you to the host, send a thank you to the speakers, pay any outstanding balance on our room rental, things like that. If you attend the workshop later this month, we will actually help you create the checklist for your business. So the fourth mistake is a lack of checks and balances. Internal controls. Yes, Bonnie, you do have a cluttered desk. We need to get Rose down there for you, girl. The fourth mistake is a lack of checks and balances. So internal controls are not just with big corporations. You need to have procedures in place to help prevent theft, even if you're a small business. For instance, the person paying the bill should not also be signing the checks and reconciling the bank account. Having established protocols and procedures for your staff to follow results, of course, in order and cohesiveness as well. The fifth mistake, drum roll please, is skimping on accounting services. I'm sure my accounting members are cheering now. Inaccurate reporting not only makes it hard to make good business decisions because your numbers aren't right, you're reading fiction instead of facts, but it also could create problems with the IRS or the state taxing authority, not something you want to happen. You want to be sure you're properly reporting your income, paying the correct amount of income, payroll, and sales taxes. So some of the potential consequences and risks of these 5 mistakes. Yikes. Unclear profitability, inefficiency and lost time, physical and emotional stress, embezzlement, that's not a good one, overpayments, higher costs, cash flow problems, federal and state tax issues. So I think I've sufficiently freaked you out. So I want to encourage you first, you can type any questions you have in the chat box if you have any about the 5 mistakes, the oversight of employees or financial statements, no filing systems, no structured procedures or checklists, no checks and balances or internal controls, and skimping on accounting services. So if you have any comments, questions about any of those 5, points, let me know, or about any of the consequences or risks. And I just want to do a little shout out to Maureen Larson and Lisa Bunch. Because Maureen Larson is actually teaching the workshop that's coming up at the end of the month. And she and Lisa got together for about an hour, hour and a half, and banged out all of this information so that I could present it to you. Isn't that nice? So I'm sure you all want to come to my workshop now, right? So it's going to be Wednesday, May 21st, 10 a.m. at Fox Rothschild, taught by Maureen, as I said, hosted by Eleanor, who's a lawyer at Fox Rothschild Warrington office. So what we're going to be doing at that workshop is going deeper into the information I covered in the webinar, but we're also going to be sharing information on what records need to be maintained and how to store information for easy retrieval. Of course, my lawn's getting mowed right now. I don't know if you can hear that. We're going to talk about some online tools for staying on top of everything. We're going to review what is required to properly set employees up on payroll. We're going to provide some warning signs of embezzlement and specific procedures to prevent it. And finally, we will teach you how to read your financial statement. Now, you can bring your financial statements to the workshop, and I will sit with you and confidentially review them and help you make some good assessments of where you stand, if you wish. Totally optional. So Maureen Larson, Strategic Organized Solutions teaching, Eleanor is hosting. I really appreciate Fox Rothschild's generosity, allowing us to use their conference room. They're actually hosting not just the May event, but also the June and July event. These monthly workshops are all designed to be interactive and specific to your business. So you'll have worksheets and exercises to complete as you learn the material. We also give the opportunity for a free 15-minute phone consultation with me or the presenter after the event for follow-up questions on any of the topics learned. So we teach you the what and the how at the workshop. You start applying it, and you take it home. If you have additional questions, you can call and have a follow-up consult at no additional cost. In addition to the Office Systems Workshop on May 21st, we're also having a marketing workshop with Judy Habel on June 11th, and a press release workshop with Debbie Guest on July 16th, and a client prospecting workshop with me on August 27th. So these workshops are $79 for non-members. Members get $30 off. They're $49. But because we believe in lifelong learning and really want to encourage you to learn as much as possible, we offer multiple workshop discounts. So when you buy one workshop, you can get a second for 40% off. And when you buy two, you can choose to attend a third one for free. The only catch is that you need to decide how many workshops you want at the time you register. So, if you're unfamiliar with me and like to get in touch with me, here are a pile of options: website, Facebook, phone, email, LinkedIn, Twitter. And if you're not yet on the mailing list, you can jump on the Network Now website and opt in, and you'll get a free tip sheet on 21 ways to improve your business. So man, I cruised through that 14 minutes in, and we're done. So I hope you enjoyed today's webinar and take this extra time that you had scheduled for this and do something productive, like maybe clean your desk, Bonnie, or print your financial statements, or sign up for the workshop. So it was actually a lot of fun to jump back into my old role as a CPA. It would be more fun if I could actually see and hear you. You're welcome, Shannon. I hope you got a few tips out of this. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Get out there and enjoy this great weather. Thanks, everyone.